Shalom Alaykum, Boker Tov, Yom Tov, Zarim, Tovim, and Laila Tov, Chalutha. This is Carrie, and I'm going to be speaking from the proofroom today. There is one verse the one that I will be covering today, that many have questioned, and based upon the narratives in the world and things that are being pushed upon the people, I've had questions as to what the mark of the beast is. First of all, let me say that you, as a creator, are making things happen in your life based upon that which you have partnered with, that which you have put emotion to. Narratives, directives, anything that produces fear, as fear is a very strong emotion, and it is emotions that take the mental imagery and make it to be. So if you believe something to be the mark of the beast, then it is for you, but that doesn't mean that is the truth of it. I am going to share with you Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and we are going to talk about the mark. But I do want to share with you that the entire English translation of the Bible does not accurately reflect that which is in the sacred writings. I will also share with you that the sacred writings are a mirror to your very own heart. So that which you see is a mirror to you based upon that which the heart is. So as I share these things with you, it is coming from the place of my own heart, of that which I have worked through, as a mirror reflecting back to me what I see in and through me, and that which I see in and through you. Here we go. John Etheridge says the verse this way: "And he caused all, small and great, and rich and poor, and sons of freedom and slaves, to have given them to have given to them a signature upon their right hands or upon their foreheads." King James says this: "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or on their foreheads." I'm going through this whole verse today with you guys because I think it's important for us to take a look at this, see what is being said to us, so that we can have the full context and not just a portion of the verse, but what the entire verse is saying to us in our process of maturation. I am also coming from the place of the mysterious deep level of the languages. I'm not going through the surface translation. I'm going down to the intimate level. My husband says all the time, see as it, not at it. So this is very personal for you about your inward journey. That is where the mysterious side is, as you are the mystery, and we are resolving and solving the mystery of who we are. This is a very important thing to see right here. The very first word, so this would be, and he caused. Okay, that's what they would translate it as. The root of this is Ein Bet Dalet, but the first two letters are literally the gematria of the word Tav. So let me say this. Every Hebrew Aramaic letter has other letters that go in to make the symbol what it is. There's a spelling to the letter itself, unlike English where an A is an A and a B is a B. These first two letters here, Vav Tav, when the letters are in a reverse order as Tav Vav, they have the meaning of the mark, that which you see right here, the mark. It is the mark, and it also means exempt from judgment. Now, the reason why I say gematria has the same gematria is every letter has a value, a numeric value to it. So even though the Tav Vav is in the opposite order, these are related to one another. So they are one and the same. It's just presenting itself differently. So what is it saying? Those who connect to Mother, who have gone through her teachings, that are humble and teachable, that have completed her test, her teaching, will receive her mark and will be exempt from her judgment. This is what you would know as the golden rule, dealing with your external world, treating those as others as you would want to be treated yourself. And when we look at the word Aved here, This is very interesting because this is a dual word. But if you want to comprehend that which we are going through, then we need to comprehend what these words are saying to us. Part of this meaning of this word, abed, means to make subject, be subject, enslave, tame, and be submissive. Well, guess what? That's exactly what Mother does to you. Because we are born in the beast flesh, we have a very beast ego nature. And if left unchecked, and if it doesn't go into the light first, it can become a monster, a megalomaniac, someone that seeks power in order to suppress and control. So Mother, through her teachings, raising up a child in the way they should go, teaches them the golden rule. What this also is meaning to us on the other side of that, it means that which we do, make, perform, we serve, work, act, participate in, to bring to pass, to commit, execute, practice, accomplish, plan, and cause. And it's also the word that means as an idiom that regarding fruit, a person will yield and produce it. It also means as a feast goes, one who celebrates and keeps the feasts. And also regarding war, waging war. So already we can see that there's a waging war against the beast ego here, and Mother needs to help tame it and yoke it. Then we move into the word all. In its root, we would have kaf lamed. This would be a word for all or whole. But there is much more going on here because the lamed has been added, and so has on the suffix, the word hun. First of all, let me deal with the lamed here. The lamed is the staff of authority, and when it is added to a word, it is actually a letter that represents honor, integrity. I say this because I was looking at the word worship, um, because there was a comment made about worshiping the languages. And when you look at the etymology of the word, then I would say, yes, we do, because we see them as being honorable. Again, this is the original sense of worship, is being honorable. Let's take a look at it in its how it was formed. It was Proto-Germanic, and again, if any of you know about how the English language was formed, we have Proto-Indo-European roots that have been brought forward in order to create the English language, which is an amalgamation of many. So this word for worship comes from the Germanic influence, which means equivalent, worth, also means towards and opposite. And there's a reason why I bring this up. Um, Old English worthy, with this added on to it, sipe, or however you want to say that, condition of being worthy, dignity, glory, distinction, honor, and renown. Now, we choose to use this word worship in the setting through theology of how to do certain things within a house of worship, meaning it's defined by man to be something other than it is. And then it's defined by man by that which you do. So do you stand? Do you lift your hands? Do you cry? Do you clap? Do you sing? Do you dance? That's an external manifestation of what somebody said worship is. But it's a stance in the position of the heart. And that's important for us to see. Now, the reason why I want to bring toward and opposite against this, the backdrop of what I've already laid here, is because when we go back into the verse, a standing lamed, when it is brought before and it's added to any word, can mean toward or against, to or for, or in other words, it's in duality, but it means honor, means integrity, it means worthiness. So let that sink in. Worthiness. Kaf lamed is the word for whole, but it is also, in Aramaic, it means bride. In Hebrew, kala means bride, and kaf lamed means crown. So you have those who are worthy, those who have honor. Everything that we were talking about here, the honorable ones, a glory and a distinction, is the bride who has received her crown. In that, she dared to venture. This is, I'm giving you the meaning of the word here, whom. She dared to venture and found wealth and riches by the revelation that was given to her through the Father's teaching, the hidden, going into the hidden aspects of herself so she could connect fully to her flesh, meaning not separating from the higher or lower, but actually being able to unify it. The first three letters here is the gematria for the word Kallel. Kallel is a word that means not only whole, but it means perfected. And actually, Kallel, because again, this is the gematria, even though the letters are in opposite order, Kallel would be Kaf Lamed Lamed. This still has the same gematria value, so therefore, this is a word that means whole and perfected, which, and I've already shared with you guys before, that the word holiness means whole, healed, as uninjured. The bride who receives her crown, who is holy, who is worthy, has the wealth and riches because she did her shadow work. Kal-El is also the name of Superman, if you want to connect dots here. Kal from the house of El. Moving on, we have Zirah, and Zirah would be small. But this is also a word that means a seed, like the smallest seed, and actually is really connected to the smallest letter, which is also part of a seed, a spark from Creator. The smallest letter in the language is absolutely the most powerful because it is a letter that represents power and is connected to the Aleph, which means the power of spirit, the power of God. So what do we see here of the small? These are those. Now again, I am going to highlight words to you because I want to make this quicker. Otherwise, I'm going to lose most of you because most only listen to half the video, maybe 15 minutes worth anyway. So the small, what does this mean? Well, those who have roused themselves awake, who have stirred themselves up for their place of encampment, the post that they were placed in. They fed and nourished themselves. They plowed up what needed to be plowed. They cut off what needed to be cut off so they could begin to see fully the landscape by connecting to their heart. The landscape that is from within, that then raised them up from a poor and destitute place of not being able to see to now being one who does see fully, one who sees fully, that is a first fruit leader, that has become the essence of this unseen as absolute, being sealed in the spirit breath of the all that is all, the all that is within all, and the all that is nothing, but is yet everything. Let's move to the word great. So the small and great, so what is this all about? Well, we have a word that means to be multiply and be made abundant, or to expand. What was added on the front of this is a vav resh vav. And I find that interesting that the letter vav is the number 6. And so we have another 6, which is connected to man. So 6, 6, and then the resh is in the middle. Just to let you know, there's 66 books within the Old Testament, New Testament of the Bible. Could that have something to do with it? Is that something that raises us up from our poor and destitute place? Absolutely, but only if you look in the Hebrew and the Aramaic, because the rest of it diminishes, as you can already tell by all the information I've given to you already within the first 3 words. This is sharing with us that we must connect to Mother first, because she will raise us up externally from our poor and destitute place, so that our head is then illuminated with fire, the fires of purification. And then we are to connect to Father, and He raises us up internally, so that we have the burning flame within that raises us up. This is the spirit essence, the quintessence of the elements that are necessary for us to be expanded, to be made great. And what does this do for us? It allows us to be in the place of oneness unity, where we've been yoked and we become tamed, which is a good thing, because this is the Christ anointing. This is one who has the essence of the unseen, now in manifested form in the absolute that has made them great. Let's look at the word rich. Even though we already discussed wealth and riches here, we have another word for rich. So when we take a look at this word, in its root form, which is ein tavresh, it means to grow rich, be rich, increase, and to make rich, or to enrich, to enrich. That is completely different than when we talk about the rich. We're talking about a process of enrichment here. We already know that the wealth and riches are found by doing your shadow work, by going into the hidden, the unknown, to really find out who you are. So this is letting us know that there's wealth and riches here. And we do this within time, to see and know the purpose within time, the power within the heart that raises one up to fully be able to see. Todah. Moving on, let's take a look at the word for poor. There's a lot going on with this word, more than you would be able to see from the surface value. And again, if you're not drilling down and you're just looking at the surface level of the translations, or even in the surface levels of the words, you're going to miss at least, I don't know, 75% of what is really being said. So when we take a look at the word poor, I'm going to take a look here at what Janet Nagira is saying in this, because she brings in a lot of information, but I'm going to show you some of the hidden things that we will find as we dig. So in the root of this, it means to be poor and needy, but the way that it is written, it becomes wretched, miserable, poor and needy. That's a lot to say there. So the root would be right here. So again, this is telling us that we need to connect to Mother. Stay humble, stay teachable, because through this process, you will become one. You will enter into oneness unity, the essence of the unseen that is now absolute, as you are one with it, one with all things. You are family. So connect to Mother while you entered into the waters of chaos. You will find support where you will be hedged in, surrounded, and supported, and be shielded, as in with a shield of thorns. Grasp a hold of the power of the words that are being released to you that bring revelation. Fill your cup, yoke and tame yourself. Fill it with that which pierces you by going to the door within to gather and assemble what you need, the hidden teachings, the spirit fire. This power comes directly from the fifth element, the spirit essence. This will give you new flesh, something different than the fallen form, as you chose the spiritual path that raised you up from your fallen nature into the oneness unity. This word also has na in it, means I, we beseech thee. So there's a prayer that is in here that has been written in to see I, we beseech thee. You may see yourself as poor, but you are really rich. Mother is going to help you with this in your process of maturation. So a hidden word that we see within here, chana. This is also coming from a Hebrew essence, and in chana, it means a plant, a shoot, understock, meaning like the base of a plant that is put in place. So in other words, to give you a strong base to stand upon, which is part of the meaning of the letter Nun of itself. It also means to give a name or to give a title, and that is going to be evident here in just a moment. So please remember that, to give a name, to give a title. The other essence in here that is not seen is another word, this little two-letter word here, which means right, truthful, and honest. So next time when you see the word poor and destitute, or just poor, and you hear me say that, understand that part of that is right, truthful, and honest. And we have the word here. It's so interesting that you would see that sons of freedom, but I understand that. It's John Etheridge understands more about what is going on here. This would be a word that you would translate just as Lord. Lord. Translated as free. What's going on here? You can take a look at this in many different ways, but again, through the eyes of my heart, I am going to share with you what I see here. This could be a Lord and a Master. It can be as what we have been taught and indoctrinated with as the Lord, or the Lord in all caps. But it also means sovereign, a sovereign. Why is this? Why are these the sons of freedom? Well, they entered into their bitter journey. They went through the process of myrrh, the bitterness. This is also gematria for the word that means to elevate, to lift up, to exalt. So their bitter journey exalted them. They ended up going through the waters of chaos, but they were raised up to be first fruits, to become leaders. They were given the power which they needed within their heart, the power which gave them the means and the direction that they needed to really become one with the essence of the unseen, so that they could walk out and become sovereign beings. Now we have the Ibed one more time, like we did up here. And as you know, there's much being said here through our work, performing, celebrating, doing, making, again reminding us to stay humble, connected to Mother. All that which we do, perform, make, will lead us into oneness unity if you go through this whole process. Now we start getting into the part that I think most of you would really like to know. Given to them signature upon their right hands or a mark on the right hand or their forehead. This is the word Yahav, which means to give, but this also is a word that means a gift, to give or a gift. What do we have going on here? Well, on the front of the word, we have 3 letters that have been added. We already have the mark of Mother. We talked about that up here. The Tav itself means completion. It means a signature, a thumbprint, the covenant, completion. And then we have the word for Dan. Dan is a word that means a judge. These first 4 letters here, taking a look at a word that is being formed from Dana, which is a meaning of obey, yielding to, attending, adhere to, and to follow. We see the Tav has been placed in the middle of that word, and the Aleph has become the Yod. So this is a power that has been given to Father in order to complete the inward journey, to be exempt from judgment on the inside, meaning the heart has completed its journey. And this is one who would follow and adhere to that which their heart is instructing them. And this is the gift. They actually become a judge because that which they've obtained is a mark of completion. So therefore, is a mirror to another. If that standard isn't met in another, that is going to be seen and reflected back to another. Judges have to say no words. They simply are. And they are here as a gift. Now let's move into upon, given to them, this them. Remember when I was sharing with you the Lamed from up here? Them. These are those that are worthy, that have honor. They are the honorable ones. Remember, judge, your honor. They have the wealth and the riches because they dared to venture into the darkness. But remember, they already went in via the way of Mother. They received her mark of completion. So they took their light into the dark. We move into the word signature. So this was translated as mark in King James, and it was translated as signature by John Etheridge. Let's take a look and see what's going on here. The root of this word is talking about mark, to mark out, inscribe or engrave. So I will write or inscribe my laws upon their heart. What are we talking about? The Oreta. The Aleph is also symbolic of Oreta, which is the one law, the one light that completes, that is of the end and the beginning, that was before time, that created Kaya, that created life. So this signature has to do with Oreta, with the one law, the one light, that is being inscribed. Where? Well, the Yod was added. So what is this saying? There is something that is being inscribed and engraved upon our hearts if we connect to Him. This also has to do with Rosh, with the head. This is heart-brain coherence here. And when we talk about a signature, this is also important for you to see the word Shem right here in the middle. So those who are of the name, remember I said for you to keep that in mind. Those who are of the name, they are the named. They have gone through the essence, the spirit essence of fire, and they have gone through the living water teachings. So both purification processes they have gone through, they are of the named, which means that they have a distinct honor. They are unique. They are of honor, have authority, and have good character. They are one with the Absolute. And the most important thing with the signature was because they connected and expanded their heart. Now we have the word upon, but this is also a shortened form of the word that means to ascend. They see and know the purpose of the instruction that came to them in order to teach them so they could compile, put together, and receive the staff of authority themselves, of those who are worthy, of the honorable ones. Now we move on to the word hand. Right is here. We're going to deal with that in a moment. But this is the word for hand. In its root form is Aida. And Aida also can be hands, but it also means power and strength. All right, so these ascended, those of the name have ascended, and they have power and strength. Well, this is interesting as well because we have yad, which literally is how you would say hand, or the work and the deed of the hand. How did they do what they did to have power? Well, they listened to the spirit of the essence of the unseen, the spirit breath, which gave them the power through the work and deed of their hand to go through the door of the inward man, where then they received power from Father as they went through the mature teachings, not just the golden rule teachings, not this. They went into Father's instruction, which gave them the power, means, and direction to be able to venture in, to dare, to be the courageous, to see, take their light of Yod-He of Mother, the power of Mother, which is light, to take it into the dark shadow in order to connect fully to their flesh, where all the wealth and riches are. Then we get the word for right. And the word for right, yamin, I need to let you know, comes from the root word aman. This would be where, when you say amen or amen, this means a word to foster and support as a parent or a nurse, to trust or believe, to be firm or faithful, to be quiet, and also to go to the right hand. So those who have power and strength, where all the wealth and riches are, went to the right hand. And they are parents, and they will foster others and nurse others because they went through the door. They became the doors of revelation to point out to you if they come into your life and you allow them to help support you and foster you, to be a parent or a nurse, depending on the need of the individual. They will always point inward to say you need to deliver yourself from that which separates you, which is really the ego. And they will tell you to go through the right hand path so that you can be part of the music, a stringed instrument, a harmony that is played in cadence as well as the resonance frequency of the earth, the music of the cosmos, by the power of your very own heart. And how do you do this? Through your manna, through your daily manna. We beseech thee to be able to go the right hand path, find the seed of life that'll give you the strong base to stand upon, that elevate your flesh and make it new from your fallen form. Because by connecting to it, you're going to raise it up into a newness of being one with the essence of the unseen. We have a word here that is or. It also means else, but it's the aleph vav. So this is the essence of the unseen. This is the spirit breath, the inhale before the exhale. Although the inhale and the exhale are done one upon another in the act of breathing, but this is the essence of the unseen, the all of the all that is needed to be connected to in order to ascend, to mature, to see and know the purpose of the teachings that have been coming. Now we get the word foreheads. And this right here is the house of the eye, the house of the eye. This right here is a word is house, but it's also an idiom for temple. And this comes from the root word that means to build family, but to also build your spiritual temple. And this is one who has been built. This is not bana. This doesn't have to do with flesh at all. This has to do with a very high spiritual matter regarding your temple. And this is one that went on the inside to build it. They went through the door inside, they gathered and they assembled what they needed. It's also Dagesh, the little dot in the middle. It talks about is Dagesh, so it has to do with fish, the fiery fish, which is another thing altogether. But this is one who has their temple built and has been filled. So they have the form that they built, and then they are filled with the essence of the unseen. This is a temple that has been filled. And then we have the eye. This is the house of the eye. So if you want to look at it, Much of the temple is based in a pyramid shape. The house of the eye would be the capstone of one who sees. One who sees where? From their forehead. What are we talking about here? The third eye. The forehead, the eyesight of the third eye has been activated. And how did they do this? Well, they went and saw the purpose needed to connect to the power of their heart where they were risen up in new flesh through the power of the Father. They dared to venture in, and they found the wealth and riches through the process of the revealed hidden teachings, which revealed themselves through their own shadow work, and they connected fully to their fallen flesh nature. And it was revealed to them. They are the house of the eye that ascended. So again, if the mark of the beast is what you want it to believe, that it is something that is being mandated, then that will be that for you. But in this matrix, you get to make of it what you want to. So I just shared with you the complete revelation of this verse, of what it is saying in the process of ascension and maturation, so that you can be of the named, so that you can have a signature of completion and possessing power and authority, and having the third eye activated, having your temple filled completely as a bride who receives her crown, from the smallest to the greatest being magnified with wealth and riches, starting out from being poor, but actually now in the place of being those who are right, truthful, and the honest ones. We and beseech thee, become a sovereign. It is only through your work of what you do and perform that this will be completed. As you, as the judges, are the gifts. You are the worthy ones, the brave ones. Shalom, Chadutha, and Namaste.